Now, last week on Roll Over and Die, the group decided to head towards the ominous yellow vine-covered building. Upon approaching the manor house, the party spotted stables which contained a wagon laden with Hessian sacks of mushrooms. Pip sliced one of them open and found bags of infected mushrooms, taking a few for herself. Meanwhile, Muic climbed the exterior and found herself being attacked by the vines, pulling her into the roof despite best efforts to resist. Pip and Aya came to her aid as Parta explored deep into the house, unbeknownst to the rest of the team. The druid was overwhelmed and absorbed into the very fabric of the manor. Now that's out of the way, ready to roll over and die. Right, so we'll centre on Pip, Muic, and Chad and Aya. You're now hacking at this wall, this previous opening to a doorway. It's taking a while, and the vines seem to be resisting your machinations. They are kind of trying to fill in the space you're hacking away, but the onslaught of all four of you is not insurmountable. So you cut your way through with all of these vines that are like spewing out viscous, yellow, like
yellow
blood.
biscuits. Custard creams.
Yeah, onto the floor. You kind of have to force your way through as the vines try and close up behind you. And then once you get through, you kind of they seal up.
Oh, we're stuck in here now.
But we made it through.
Can we see
all
him?
of us?
No, so you're in like a long corridor. This corridor extends for, it's difficult to tell, could be 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50 feet in front of you. Whilst these vines are wrapping around in a constant circular motion.
Can I do what I did upstairs and use my flamm blade?
Your flamblade?
Yeah,
Blade.
to
Yes.
carve out a hole.
In what?
The hole that we just came through.
Yeah,
if
sure.
it's closing back up, I'd like to open it up permanently.
Yeah, roll to attack.
Don't piss it. Don't piss it.
Natural 20.
That was pretty much the only way that you were going to keep it. Oh, cut into there, yes. So as you get your arm blade out, you cast a spell upon the arm blade itself. It ignites into this ethereal, multicoloured green blade. You just start cutting into it, searing off the edges as the vines themselves almost shriek and boil and burn as you carve this perfect doorway. Now you've done that, the vines seem to be uninterested in filling it back up anymore. Either through fear or from pain, you now have a permanent doorway for
What
your
a
exit.
start to the episode.
How about that?
What do you think we want to do?
Cheer.
All right.
Just don't acknowledge it at all. Just walk right past it.
Yeah, so you just carry on into the... Sure.
Tell me to hurry up.
What are you messing about with that?
So you carry ahead, you cheer. Pip, what do you want to do?
I'm following Aya.
You
Of
follow Aya
course.
as well.
Can I just...
You've got your hype man.
Yeah,
I'll just
exactly. I just need one.
Is he okay?
We don't know.
Well,
We've
Can't
seen
see me.
it.
So Pip and Aya, I'd like you to do perception rolls for me, please.
Natural 20.
It's 4 and I imagine it's minus something.
Okay,
Terrible.
4.
26.
So with a 26, as you're walking down this corridor, you kind of get a bit disorientated. You particularly, you start losing the ability to figure out what is up and down, what is left and right. You feel like you're going to almost throw up.
Like the Zelda corridor in the forest.
Pip, however, you keep your feet. And in fact, out the corner of your eye, you see this writhing mass off to the left-hand side. As you look closer, you can see a hand trying to push out of it. It looks familiar.
I know that.
You can hear squeaks inside.
Parta? Is it doing that to
Yes,
me?
it is. What'd you do?
Hey, are you okay?
I don't know.
You're kind of stumbling back and forward.
How are you on the ceiling?
I'm not, but
Relative to you, she's in front of you.
She popped a
But you
mushroom,
can't
yeah.
tell which way you guys are.
You've already done mushrooms once.
Yeah, maybe I accidentally ate one of those mushrooms.
I
Feels
think
so good.
Parta's in the wall.
That makes sense in this
Yeah.
world that I'm living in right now.
I'm going to assume that that's a Parta. I'm just going to replicate his hand movement.
It looks like his gangly hand.
As you're replicating his hand movements, you see these vines that are slowly wrapping around. They're pulling his hand further and further into the wall as you're replicating his
Can I get my
gestures.
dagger and just slice around it?
Yeah, you start cutting the vines away. As quickly as you're cutting them, they are growing back
No.
or
Can
more or
you
replacing that.
Do your thing.
I
Do
will
your
try
thing.
and lightning lure the one that's like on him.
But
I
not
don't know. I
him.
can try it. Actually,
But
can I
not
touch
him.
it?
But not him.
Touch.
The vine.
Yes, you do. As you touch one of the vine, it kind of goes limp.
Oh.
But as one vine goes limp, like 3 or 4 more take its
Oh.
place.
How many can you touch at one
There,
time?
there are literally like hundreds, if not thousands, of vines in this.
Can I
hallway.
do that?
Yeah, as soon as you like put your hands in them, you're only really getting the surface.
Okay.
As you know from
Like
the doorway,
whack-a-mole.
they are like at least several feet deep.
Oh,
So you could
I tried.
keep doing it, but it's kind of it's holding them back for sure.
It's helping.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do the same thing, but then will the same thing happen if I get rid of one?
Does anybody have a protection spell?
I have some buffs, but not like
Some
something that can keep you from
buffs.
buffs.
But
I have,
Not again.
Stop it.
Buffs was last episode,
Buffs.
guys. Buff, B-U-F-F.
What is that?
What's
like
a
some
buff?
buffers.
Buffering.
yeah,
Best ultimate
Like,
friend
it's not
forever.
going to stop him
Damn it, I was
from
gonna
being
go.
strangled, but it might give him more
second
hit points.
I just don't know what you're on about, but sure.
She's got butts.
I've got.
Got
but you cannot lie.
She cannot lie.
It's
Can
whether...
you cast
Or
any
the other Asimus can.
buffs
Right.
on
Ass
Potter?
master.
I don't know if there's any that works.
Master.
Asmaster.
Oh, makes sense.
Do you want me to save you from the wall?
Is that what you-
The only word that he's uttered is asthma.
That's what comes out of the wall.
Sound like.
Because if you,
Oh,
if
no, no.
somebody can protect him, we
I
can
don't
just
think I can
burn
protect
the
him.
vines.
I can just give him a little bit of extra.
Alright, never mind.
So what are you two doing?
Well, I burned the hole, so I'm giving Mike I'm running around in circles and just giving her a high five
Yeah.
every time I run around her.
And I'm going.
Are you lizard running?
Yeah.
Roll a perception check.
Okay.
Damn.
Just me?
Yep.
9.
9?
Yeah.
So you're giving high fives. Actually, roll a perception check as well, Mike.
It's not to me, is it?
It is to you.
No, is it like it's going to
He's
be a
gonna-
line?
Uh-oh.
Perception.
Yep.
13.
Yeah, so you're running around in a circle, giving a high five to Mike. As he's running around you, he's giving a high five. Like there's one extra slap every time he goes around you. And as you look around, you see that there's a vine that's coming out of the
I know it.
wall.
I know
And
it.
he's giving a slap to the vine and then to your hand. And to the vine, and to your hands running around you. He hasn't noticed.
There's so many more fans all of a sudden. I've doubled my fandom.
I told you, we're making friends. They're high-fiving us.
Yeah. It's trying to get you, but he's slapping it back. By virtue of running around you every single time.
Fine friends.
Yeah.
But you recognize that they're vines.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't.
No. You just think
You're
you're.
such a
You just think
fucking
like
idiot.
probably Mike's got 2 hands up like that, and you slap, 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 slap. But actually, it's just one slap,
slap,
and then a vine,
slap,
and then a
slap.
vine.
You know what this calls for? A floating disc.
No,
10
minutes.
minutes. You don't have 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
He'll be dead.
You can use your spell slot to cast it instantaneously.
Oh.
You don't have to. but you
What
can
would
do.
that achieve right now?
Surfing.
Don't do it. Don't do it. So while we're still doing this, and I notice that the vine's coming out,
Mhm.
I
And he's slapping it back, and then it keeps coming out,
Yeah.
and he's slapping it back.
I'm still going or slap, slap, slap,
Yep.
slap with my staff.
Yeah.
Without him noticing that much, I just want to do that and push him towards the rest of everyone. But we're still going slap, slap, slap to distract him.
Okay.
That's
Roll a sleight of hand check, because that'll be the closest thing.
Slap.
Trying to maneuver him away subtly.
13.
13. Roll let's say a perception check.
Whoopsies. 19.
Yeah, so she's guiding you down the hallway, and you know this.
I'm okay with that.
Slap, slap.
I wasn't going to do this until the end of time. So,
Although, like, now she's pushing you down there, she didn't use one hand, and so now it's only one slap. It's half the amount of slaps you're getting.
well, I feel
I'm
like
pushing him with my staff.
Slap. Sorry? Yeah, you're using, like, one hand to push him on there, and then he's just slapping your
that's fine.
fist.
She
You're the
couldn't
one.
high five me forever, so
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
there's only
But
so long
your
you
friend
can
is
do that.
dying in the wall right now.
So we're working our way down there.
Can you use your knowledge of the plants to move? Do you know which direction this is
I
going?
tried, but all I knew is that they were covering the wall, which I knew. I can try again.
Hmm?
Survival check.
Yeah, sure. What are you trying to find out with your surveillance?
Just like if there's a centre that they're all coming from,
Mhm.
or just like what they are, or
Yeah.
if anything will hurt them.
Or roll
specifically.
to roll with advantage.
Natural 20.
Well
There you
done.
don't roll again.
Yeah.
You see that the further down this corridor it goes, the thicker the vines, the more numerous they become. So it wasn't just quite an optical illusion. The hallway itself is getting narrower.
Okay.
So whereas the hallway looked a lot deeper than it was, actually it is only about 20, 30 feet, but it looks more like 50 feet because it's getting, the diameter is getting narrower. It's coming from somewhere down the corridor.
Okay.
Should we?
Have
If
you
we
got Potter?
I can
No,
try.
at the moment you haven't.
Have
I
you
can
got?
try lightning
Can I do
lure
anything?
again.
Because
But
I
maybe
can-
we should
No,
all
you're
do
being
it at
restrained.
once.
I can
Literally
try and
cannot do
diadem
You can't do an
Dustin.
action or a movement.
Mine. Okay.
Because they didn't come in so quickly.
Can you only use that once a day though? Because you might want to use it when we get in the room.
But if we go, that's what I mean. If you look after Potter, I can go down the corridor.
What is it? Do you want to maybe us come with you down the corridor? Because
But I'm big and
One
strong. Okay, fine. But I can't. I'll just keep
Well,
putting the vines to
As you're putting the vines to sleep, you do see these two coming down the corridor behind them.
I'm like, oh great, these
FYI.
guys, they're gonna make it so much better.
I-
Well, that high fiving.
I'm going to try and use lightning lure again on the vines,
Okay.
while she's also trying to put them to sleep at
Yeah.
the same time.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Great.
Gotta
get some slap
as
then.
you're trying to
Good thing you showed up.
lightning
Yeah.
lure off. Can you roll your damage for lightning lure, please?
This
Don't
is
kill Potter.
Oh no, it's going to hit me. Or him. Oh,
this is happening to me because I killed that
I
woman.
think it was
Mhm.
1d8.
Poison.
wasn't
That you cuddled? Yep.
It's happening to you because you keep fucking with Tim.
Apollonia,
Oh.
not the woman that was cuddled, who was Albright.
Albright.
I mean, you did
Yeah.
threaten.
it? Whoever it's hurting has to do a strength saving throw.
I
Yes.
was
It's me.
told to say I'll come for you.
Yeah.
Okay. 4
4. Oh, strength saving throw for the.
for being pulled. And
Oh,
then
sorry.
if they're in the 5 feet, then they get hurt.
Can you do a strength saving throw with disadvantage, please?
I'm so sorry.
Oh.
So that's 11.
11. And what's the
11
DC?
is the
Yeah.
DC.
Disadvantage.
11 is your
Disadvantage,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
you
Got
got
roll again, yeah?
Yes. Take
So
the lowest
lowest.
one.
Yeah, 11.
11 is the lowest. You still pass.
Okay.
The vines pass as well. No one takes any damage.
Okay,
call
I'm
me
going to stop throwing
passer.
lightning at you.
Yeah. So it has no effect, and you're keeping the vines at bay, but it's kind of a stalemate at the moment.
I'm sorry.
You two see
Is it like
what's going
minus
on.
Speed.
A is casting this like a lasso of electricity, whilst Pip is desperately trying to touch all of these vines, of which like the ones that she's touching, about a third of them are just like drooping down, but then more pile on top of it, and start pulling this figure, this creature, into the wall.
Well, I know that my flamblade works.
Mhm.
I don't know if you'd like to do anything.
Been
Yeah.
asked if somebody did.
I'm about to.
Hey, I can stop touching them.
No, you can't.
I'm gonna. Well, what are you doing? Your one blade.
I'm gonna carve out a silhouette of Potter.
Posh. I want to use my
Like Peter Pan
staff.
and Hook.
To beat them back. Go roll. Both do roll to hit.
As with initiative or just
No,
straight?
no initiative.
Okay, just 9.
9.
You not had
Let's
anything on
try.
it?
To
Hold on
roll
a
to hit?
second.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You usually had a 6 before.
Just to
12.
roll to hit. Oh. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
plus your
With
With my
unblade.
flamblade. Sorry,
Sorry, I thought you got 3 plus 6.
I did
So
not.
you rolled a 9
Plus
plus 6.
15.
So 15 there.
Yeah.
I rolled.
Where's the plus 6?
Mine's plus 2, so 10.
That is
No,
enough.
plus 2, 11.
Oh,
It's your blade.
10's enough.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So yeah, so you both hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between the three of you attacking it, you start beating the vines back, and suddenly, like the vines come from where your mouth. You can now breathe again. No, you're slowly being suffocated, and part of it gets ejected out of this wall,
And
You're
my
out.
stomach gets ejected as well.
Don't.
and then part is sick.
Welcome back.
That sounded very.
That was very
Wow.
Yes, it's my back.
Gross.
I'm just gonna sob into who's closest.
Don't sob into me. You'll pass out. Great.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Is she legit the closest?
Yeah, I rolled. See who it was.
12.
Yeah, fine.
I just.
So you hug Pip.
Thank you so much for doing
You're fine.
Don't know what that was.
It was all me. It was all me. I saved you. I love it.
I was so scared. It was so dark in there.
We've got-
I didn't know if I was going to survive.
Just know
I
that
just
I'll
started-
always be here to save you. Do you really throw up on me?
That seems fair. That seems very fair.
I don't know how to deal with it, so I just walk it off.
Okay. I believe you were you walking down there as well?
I was trying to
You were lightly
electrify
ignoring
him.
it. Yeah. So what were you doing?
I will.
Can you start
Give you-
wiping me down?
Sure.
Thanks.
Are the vines still active?
Now they've been attacked like quite aggressively. They seem to be recessing.
Have you told us, as I'm wiping the stick off you, have you told us about the big vines?
They go down there. That's
Okay,
the
we should
main
go
part.
down there.
I don't want to be in there.
It's okay, we're with you
Is it
now.
safe now?
Nothing
It's
will
not
happen.
safe.
Nothing bad will happen to you while we're here.
They're so strong, though.
I know. But we're stronger.
Oh,
Um,
please stop throwing up.
It's what
We're gonna go find the big vines and kill it.
Okay, just protect me a little bit, please.
Please, can you stop puking?
What's everyone's hit points?
I'm on
Mine's
mine.
26.
So I didn't actually
20.
take any damage, right? It was just a
Everything
Correct.
will
Yeah,
get
just being absorbed.
Do
24.
you want 5 hit points?
I would love 5 hit points, please.
I'm going to use 5 of my
Yep.
lay on hands pool.
Lay on hands. Okay.
Thank you.
Mark those up.
Thank you.
Done.
So, what's the marching order?
I'll go first.
First,
I'll go second.
second,
Can I go in the middle?
third,
I'll go last. Unless you want to go last.
fifth,
I'm
fourth.
fine either way. Yeah, fourth is
Yep.
the best.
First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay. Groovy. Hands up. It was fifth.
No, you were.
Yeah.
Cool, Groovy.
I didn't know who decided.
What's your armor class?
God, I'm glad I give you the hit
Yeah,
points.
no kidding.
I actually just say 12.
12. Okay.
Was there enough today already?
I feel like we've got to a point in this campaign, or part of the campaign, that we shouldn't be at right now.
We're not ready.
We're not ready.
We're not ready to
so
play
many
house.
tasks.
You take.
Why?
You feel a prick in your back.
Of course I do.
Chad.
You take.
Hey, I'm bored.
Of course I do.
You take 2 points of piercing damage. Piercing.
You wet yourself.
And I need you to do a Constitution saving throw for me.
Because of the piss.
So I've just given myself more damage. Got it.
Really is the strongest, most able here. I should have gone last. With the most hit points.
Sorry, what did you say, Constitution?
I should have.
Yes, please.
Seven?
You also take 11 poison damage as you
Oh.
feel something being ejected into your system from behind.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Like just feel it in the small of your back.
Hold on. Can you?
Is it wood?
You can't have a
It doesn't feel like. No.
It
hold
doesn't
on a
feel like it
second.
would.
It's like a bee sting, basically.
So 11, you
Yeah.
say?
So you've taken 13 damage in total from this attack.
I'm on
13?
one. I'm on 1 hit point.
Good thing
If
you
I do
healed
get to
them.
0, I'm going to use Strength of the Grave.
Okay.
If I get to 0,
Okay.
which
What strength of the
I
grave?
can't possibly, can I?
And you. No, not on this attack. And you are immobilized.
Shit.
But nobody knows this because everybody's walking forward and she's behind.
Good thing you
Do we not hear her like fall or?
No, because she's immobilized. So,
Oh, so she's just...
Oh, I thought I
Yeah.
fell.
the vine starts wrapping around you.
Again.
So think of like Frodo from Lord of the Rings. We
Oh,
got
what with the
stung by
spider?
Shelob. Just goes completely inert. Can't talk. Looks dead.
And then he gets wrapped up.
oh no,
Yeah.
Mr. Frodo.
And gets wrapped up.
Oh
You
no.
are Samwise.
Meanwhile,
You didn't do.
you
much
go
of
through
that.
this corridor. It opens out into this, what probably used to be a room, but it's very difficult to tell what it used to be. The centre is the centre of this manor house. So it's basically now a completely spherical room. There are vines so dense that you can't tell what the shape of the room ever used to be. There's no aspects of furniture, objects of any kind. It's just thick mustard-coloured vines. And there are strands that are coming from every single direction, from next to you, from the opposite side of the room, from the left, the right, the floor, the ceiling, all into this central point.
Are you still detecting magic? Does that last?
Lasts
At
for
all?
1 minute,
Oh, okay.
so it's been
I
longer.
don't know if it
than
was
1
like a 10-minute
Yeah.
thing. All right.
So in the middle, there is this. Like this form of.
Did you see a ghost?
Pardon?
Tim broke.
Sorry. No, I was reading now. There's this, what looks to be like a former body of a halfling. However, it looks all but dissolved down to its bones. It's being hung from multiple strands, multiple directions. However, the skeleton now hangs from these thick yellow vines attached to every
Punch
surface.
this.
However, thinner vines now replace a lot of its musculature. So now it looks like a flayed person. It's got-
Oh.
So instead of the muscles, it now has these yellow vines all over it.
Veins, if you will.
Indeed. Yellow veins to replace the red veins. And it's hanging there. And as you enter the room, the head kind of clacks towards you and just moves, cracks,
That's horrible.
looks down at you fall.
Is it very clearly dead?
No, it's moving.
Like the okay,
It's not
clearly
clearly.
it's.
So it's not like it's not inert.
But does
It's
it
moving.
look like whoever was in that body before is gone, and now it's just this monster that's sprouting red?
It's
yellow.
very difficult to tell, like, if the internal organs have been preserved,
Okay.
because where the skeleton was is now got like this vine musculature. You don't know if any internal organs still exist, if it's
Okay.
still like a symbiotic relationship, or these vines have literally dissolved it down to its bones and then re-inhabited that as a shell. It's very difficult to tell unless you would
I think
cut into it, I guess.
no hesitation. I'm just gonna blast it.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it accidentally being alive again. It's pretty gross.
If it's a skeleton, yeah. Tim looks excited about this.
Well, so you're just going to straight off the bat just attack it.
Yep.
We're all initiative then.
All of us?
Wait, just her?
I think we need a conversation before we just.
No.
Well, no, she blasted.
Why are we gonna have a conversation with something that's obviously just vines now?
I need to talk.
No, it's fine.
But I think it made a noise. I think it's alive.
Okie dokie.
Just for
Right,
initiative.
so we've got.
It's fine.
Initiative is -1.
And we've got a heart.
Tim is so excited
And a
about
mirror.
our
I
choices
wonder
right
if
now.
people watching this video enjoy these little interludes.
Do you?
So, Pip, what do you get?
Speak directly to camera.
Yeah.
12.
Roll.
Do you?
Carter.
17.
Indeed. Hard.
9.
Yeah?
12.
I thought you said negative.
No, I said it's -1 initiative, not -1 score.
And I got.
I thought you got all the 3. I was like,
That's not it.
initiative. do you have?
Whoop, there it is.
Oh, yeah, I'll get 2.
What's a big lady?
Oh, you had that on the whole time.
No, I just put it on.
She just put it on. She just put it on the blast.
Oh yeah.
Like Cyclops.
I'm excited.
Don't
to
call me
see-
Cyclops.
Do you not remember superhero poses from like last week?
Oh yeah. What was mine?
Cyclops.
Was
oh, wait,
it?
no, that was mine.
That was yours.
was yours?
Don't get angry at me for something you did.
But that wasn't Cyclops. That was Professor X.
Great.
'Cause
I've never
clearly
seen
I'm
that
the brain.
film.
I have no
Yours.
idea what you're
That's
You
not
haven't
the-
seen any of the X-Men?
I've never seen that.
You should probably not be admitting that.
Comic books are great, Ellie.
Yeah, comic books are
What
great.
was the
I've read a
Cyclops?
comic book.
Pose.
I think it's exactly the same as Professor X. Just actually, Professor X just puts his hand out.
You did that.
I did this, but Cyclops should essentially do the same
He
thing.
looks like he's.
Does
did I
Cyclops
do?
need to do anything?
I did that.
Open his eyes.
I don't remember what I did.
Part
That's a
of
real word.
That's your pose. His eyes
Oh.
I
open.
don't know.
So as Pip puts her hand up to her horn of blasting. You know, not horn, diadem of blasting. You know what's going to come. You get to go first.
I know what's going to come.
Peanuts are good.
I am.
From the sky.
It's a threat. It's a personal threat.
I'm not going to do anything but shout out to the creature.
Peanuts.
I'm going to shout out to the creature
We're
before
gonna
before she blasts.
Okay.
I'm gonna shout, Pep, no! We need to find out. And then I'm going to say, we need to find out. Oh my god, what am I going to say? I need to think first. I don't know. I'm thinking. My brain's not
I'm
working.
dying,
Shout.
it's fine.
What are you thinking?
He's just having a think.
We're not going to shout at you for hurting it. We were supposed to hurt it this time.
We mean you no harm.
No, of all the people that we do mean harm to.
you.
It's
Let us
definitely
go and we won't say anything to no one.
It's not true.
It is. It is. Talk to me.
We're definitely in a position of power here. To
Hello.
Stop begging to the vines.
I can see you there.
Have some dignity.
So what do you want to do?
He just wants to shout
I'm
at
just
it.
talking to you.
Yeah. It can't respond till its turn.
Oh. I'm going to carry on.
Mm-hmm.
What's your name? Where'd you come from?
Where'd you go?
What's happened here?
Goes to Lando.
And then I'm going to step behind the group a
Okay.
little bit.
You need to move back.
Oh, you're such a coward.
I remember every time we tried to talk to
So
an
glad you rolled
enemy
well on this
in
round.
previous campaigns, we died.
Yeah.
Pip,
On it.
I've already tried to die
so
just now.
Yep.
I'm dying.
I blast it away.
okay.
Combine it with mine.
I bet.
Roll to hit.
Oh, no,
Never mind.
Once.
9 plus what do I plus it with?
Honey?
So be on your character sheet.
I'm looking at the spell. It just says 2d6 damage.
Peanuts are coming.
So scorching ray.
Say that.
Make a ranged spell attack.
Oh, plus 6, sorry.
Yeah.
9 plus 6.
And there are
But we're all just sitting here and you
3 rays. So you need to roll 3 times to hit. So first one hits.
D6.
Roll the second one.
D20 again.
So second.
19
That
plus
hits.
6.
Intimidation.
19 plus
Probably
6.
work.
Yep, they all hit. On a hit, the target each rate. So they take 66 fire damage.
Whoa.
66.
Yeah.
Not,
Is
not
this a
66.
D6?
66.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's not.
No, it's
Normal die.
dice.
There we go.
Could be 36.
Oh, I'm using the wrong dice.
No, that's
That's
right.
right,
You
that was
just
right.
rolled 6.
No,
But they're
I'm
the
using the
wrong
wrong
dice.
set of dice, but it's fine. I've done it now.
You've
6.
literally just rolled 6.
5.
11.
6.
So 17.
That's
And 3 more?
Oh my gosh, I can't count. 2.
Is that 19?
3.
22.
20.
10.
No.
Please don't tell me you left out.
23.
So sorry.
I hate you so
I'm
much.
so sorry.
6, 5, 6, 3, 1.
No,
3,
I'm
2, 1.
saying
3, 2,
shit,
1.
but he should
Peanuts.
Peanuts are
Peanuts
coming.
are coming.
Cool. So it takes 23 points of damage from a diadem blasting.
That's awesome.
Damn.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
So, Aya.
I predictably am just gonna hit it with my flail. If I can reach it.
Go well for your warhammer. So it hit fail
Oh
is
shit!
on
Yeah, I
you.
forgot. Sorry.
Should be.
Your mother is
What
watching.
email. So get at it with your warhammer.
Wow. Oh, 3 plus 6, 9.
That hits.
That hits.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's 1d8 plus 6.
2 plus 8.
8 points of damage. Yep, got it.
And then I will use Thunderous Smite.
Okay.
So my weapon rings with the thunder that is audible for 300 feet, which basically makes me Thor.
Yeah.
And they get an extra 2d6 thunder damage.
Roll it.
1
Mhm.
and 5, 6.
6.
Additionally, if the target is a creature, it must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 10 feet away and knocked prone. With a strength of 15.
It is immune to being prone. wondering if it can be pushed. Well, we'll find out. After it or not.
We'll find out. It means I'll decide what to do.
Yeah.
Sorry to stop, but Alice has got very tiny hands.
So,
Please don't bring the attention of the world to
Please
my
show
hands.
your hands to the camera.
roll another d6.
But they'll just look normal to them. They don't have
Good
any
thing Annie didn't
reference.
distract
Cleo,
us.
put your hands next to her.
Roll another d6, please.
Another D6. Oh my god.
Look at her little baby hands.
2.
2. Okay. So it can't be pushed any further back, but by virtue that it tears a lot of the strands that are on it,
Okay,
it
good.
suffers a lot of damage.
See?
2
Small
points of
but
damage.
mighty.
Indeed.
Small hands, but my
Hang on, so how much damage do you do?
Not your butt.
A lot.
mighty.
It's taken quite a lot of damage so far.
And I thundered it.
Another
so.
13 damage.
13.
Yeah.
So that's 40.
39.
Rounding up.
Close up.
Rounding up.
We can't do math.
Now we're on to something else.
Uh-oh.
What's this something else?
From the sides of the
Uh-oh.
that spherical room that is it, these creatures start pushing their way through the vines like strands, like they're being birthed by the room itself. They are like diminutive creatures, about 3.5 feet tall,
Alright.
covered in both vines, but also their skin has gone a yellow pallor. Their eyes completely yellow and jaundiced. They look like to be previous halflings, but they have a crazed look in their eye, and they jump towards the two that have attacked. So you two, they try and attack you both.
Yeah, boy.
That's not going to hit you. That's not going to hit you either. So with a crazed look in their eyes, they try and jump on you both. But you manage to evade their attacks.
How many are there?
2.
That's it.
Yes.
Slice their heads off.
Now, this thing in front of that you addressed initially.
My friend.
I think it's going well.
Again, it clacks its jaw up and down. You've done way more damage to it than tried to engage it in conversation. So,
What's your name?
I'm going to say all 4 of you, not you, do a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
I didn't do anything. Sorry.
I'm gonna roll again because
Sorry.
he bumped my roll.
I did bumper roll.
I rolled with
Bump
one
and roll.
dice.
No, you
19.
What, wisdom.
Saving throw.
7, 8, 9.
9.
6.
7.
Cool.
Not cool.
From like these spores on all of the vines around this room, it just ejects the same kind of like spores that you resisted initially. However, this time it gets directly into your nose, your throat, into your eyes, into the pores.
Does this count as poison?
No, it does not.
Something different.
Wow.
It's a charming effect. It's a magical charming effect.
Uh-oh.
If you were elves, you'd have advantage on this. You are now charmed by the creeper.
Do we love it?
You do love it.
Oh, we love it.
Creature charmed by this way does nothing on its turn except move as close as it can to the creeper. A creature charmed by the creeper can repeat a saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself.
Is that all of us?
All of you, apart from not you because you didn't have to do it, and not Chad, you have resisted its effects. You're the only one that's not under the thrall of this
Dear
creeper.
God, help us.
And whose goes in
They got
now?
us this far.
It's Chad.
Hey!
Please kill it.
Please save us.
Okay. So I've got a few options here.
Grease.
Now that
sorry.
it's Greece.
It was going to say something as well after it.
Oh.
By virtue of like either you attacked it first or you tried to engage a conversation first, it would either attack you first or converse with you second. So now that it's got 3 of you in its thrall, it turns to you, Chad, the one that hasn't been infected, and says, "Submit to me. Submit to the fungal queen."
Fungal
Queen.
queen.
Sorry, the fungal queen.
Have we heard of her
Okay.
before?
We have not heard of the fungal queen
That's
before. I don't.
terrifying.
Could we get
I don't believe.
the monster to say 3 things and see if one of them is a lie?
Can you get them to...
Come to me and ingest my
feel like I've been in
flirting
this
with the
position once before in this campaign.
Inject
Does she need a hand in the back?
Can you do that again?
Take my spores into you and transmit them to the rest of the world. Then we can all be one with the fungal queen.
No.
Take the spores.
I don't want to take the spores.
Submit willingly, or I will take you as my thrall. Like your
Inject the
friends.
spores.
I don't want this.
Your companions are already under my control. It's just
Do
a
you think
matter
she'll
of time
talk to-
before we infect the world.
Okay, I don't think she wants to talk.
We're not listening. We're just walking towards.
Well, yeah, you're walking towards her,
Yeah.
right?
No, well, it's
Your
not her.
friends
Queen.
have submitted to me.
Mother?
She's still going. So, but Mike's not either. Mike's back there.
You don't know
You
where
don't know, you
Michael
don't
is?
know where I am.
No.
Oh no.
You got
Okay,
checked?
well I know that Flamblade works.
Flamblade.
Give me your answer.
Don't use grease.
I won't use grease in this one instance. I
I think she wants an answer.
am going to cast Dragon's Breath,
Okay, there you
which once again. What do you mean?
This is
Shake
not
your head.
going to end well.
I think it might.
I'm not here.
I don't know what
No,
else
no,
to do. I'm not going to submit. I can't.
go. Lay down. Lay down.
I can't hold person.
You're not
'cause
gonna
then
ingest
you'll
the
all
spores?
attack me. I can
Take the
thunder.
spores
Hold on.
willingly.
I will not take the spores.
Why don't you look like you're going to do it and then bite her with your...
Don't bite her.
Don't bite.
I don't think I don't have good enough deception.
Don't put anything in your
I
Um,
think that
Yeah, don't.
ingesting it is the problem.
On a successful
Spit it
save.
out.
Did thunder damage? Thunder. Stop it. Thunder or lightning damage didn't work at all on anybody, right? I don't think thunder damage would affect her.
It did
Um,
not affect her. It just
So
didn't
on
do
the
anything extra.
zombies in the farmhouse,
Yeah,
it worked as normal.
as normal.
Yeah,
We
that's
know
the only point of reference you have it right
Okay, so fire has worked. Thunder has been a damage, but not a super effective damage.
now. As
Did
far as you're
chill
aware,
work? Did
I mean, you've
chill
not tried it on
I
her
don't think we've
specifically.
tried to chill at all.
Who knows what her vulnerabilities or resistances are?
I should.
Am I saying
should.
that? Yeah.
You didn't pass that along at all, did you?
No one told me anything.
You're
I did a
wrong.
survival check, but I just knew where it was coming from, not what it was weak against.
Okay, I don't have a whole lot of options here.
Or time.
Or time. So I'm gonna cast Dragon's Breath. I'm gonna tap my throat.
Go do a breath.
Yep. I'm gonna
Burp it up.
Tap tap.
burp it on up.
Gonna burp on it.
So what is Dragon's breath?
It is 3d6.
But is it an action?
It.
Tell me how to a dragon.
How to do my dragon?
How to dragon.
How to dragon.
How to cast a
Range
dragon.
is touch.
Yep.
To myself. And then it is. This is D1M, 15 feet, VSM.
Oh,
Oh, I have to cast it?
you have VSM.
Yeah.
Your material component is your wand. You left your wand with.
You're an idiot.
No.
You're an idiot.
I don't have.
No, we didn't, did we?
I'm an idiot.
You
We
did.
all
His kettlebell.
spoke this out.
No, I thought we
No,
got
you
that.
did. Last episode 12.
Yeah.
You would say that.
Uh, So, what can I cast without?
You just need anything that hasn't got an M, a material component.
Okay. Thunder wave.
Yep.
A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed.
Groovy.
So everybody's
Pushed.
getting some thunder.
You wouldn't because you're in the same line as everybody else. They haven't taken their turn to move forward yet.
Oh, great.
So it's just this creature in front of you.
Cool.
Oh, good.
So everybody's fine.
Make her swing back in.
Yeah.
Her line.
And it took damage last time it was tried to be forcibly moved. So,
And that's 3d8.
so it gets
With
it passes.
Oh, okay.
So it gets half damage.
So 3d8. Do I still roll?
Yep, 3d8 and just half it.
Alrighty.
And it doesn't get pushed.
Oh, there it is. Oh. Total is 12, so 6.
6. Got it.
Thunder damage.
Nice. And that was Shard. Parter. The only thing you can do is roll a saving throw to try and break the spell.
Mother.
And that happens at the end of your turn.
Oh.
Roll a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
11.
You are still under the thrall of
Mother.
this creature. Pip, same
He's
for
happier
you.
than ever.
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Comes to the end of your turn.
19 plus 4.
19 plus 4, you snap out.
Yay!
Oh,
Nice.
Parter, by the way, you actually take your full movement to move up to this creature. You're now in face-to-face contact with it. As the vines start creeping around your shoulders and giving you some kind of embrace.
I love you.
Yeah. It just stares you out as Parter is being semi-absorbed into its stomach.
Oh, if only I
Is
had
this
my
creature the
wand.
heart?
Stop getting absorbed into things.
We're in the heart of the house. So it's got to be.
Yeah.
Kill the creature.
Wisdom.
Wisdom
Kill
saving
the
throw.
zombies. Get the mushrooms.
14 plus 2, 16.
Okay.
You break out of it.
Nice.
You do not move
So-
closer. You're like Pip. You shake it off.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
The two creatures that were already attacking you carry on attacking you.
Great.
Forgot about them. I don't feel like I've been much use the last
You haven't.
No.
while.
That's 30.
Critical hit on Pip.
Oh shit.
Critical Pip.
Critical pit. Well,
Bye.
be nice knowing you.
Let out Pip squeak.
Critical hit.
You jumped
It
good.
does.
Jump.
At least
Good.
You
got
jumped good.
all the hit points.
Bye guys.
You take 11 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, I'm fine.
You're fine. As the thing just slams into the side of your head with its
Noggin.
fist.
Boom. No, that's a real thing.
Not again, my middle.
I'm only on 17 hit points.
I'm on 1.
And a critical miss on you.
You're still getting-
Yay!
So it
Getting
whiffs and
dead.
kind of just puts its hand into the wall. And the
Didn't
vines
even
try
see
and
it.
pull it back into the wall.
Didn't even notice it.
Yeah. How awkward.
Awkward.
Hashtag walks.
Indeed. Now the creep
Indeed.
That's what
Creep creeps.
starts pulling Parter further and further into it. It says,
I still have your friend here, and you'll have a friend out in my tunnel. You will not last long in here. Submit to me.
No, I know.
It's a nice little cutch.
Your friend is in the tunnel.
You will be one with the fungal queen,
So she's just talking to me.
Zuctamoy.
What?
What?
Somewhat.
now, upon hearing that,
What?
Aya,
Something mine.
You sucked him.
I know something.
Suck my toy.
Josh!
What did you say?
Zuctamoy,
Not you, sorry.
Aya,
Yes.
in your mind, you are overwhelmed with visions of a massive palace of 24 mushrooms.
What just happened?
I'm overwhelmed with this vision in the mushroom palace. 2 dozen mushrooms.
All interconnected with bridges and lined with countless chambers and tunnels. Fields of giant fungus line a cavern too vast to fully comprehend. The air is filled with millions of spores that attach and leach rotten flesh and plant matter. Your view zooms into one of the monstrous palaces, into a giant throne room covered in thick, rancid sheets of coils of fungus. In the middle is a thick, fibrous tentacle covered in mouthing lipped suckers that devours floating spores that come near it. Atop is a vaguely female form that appears almost alien and inhuman, and a skeletal thin humanoid shape draped and veiled in mycelium and lichen. 4 fibrous antlers grow from her brow, and her hands bear crawls. Her lower torso is a coiling pillar of lashing, ropey tentacles and other fungus growths. She gives you a disgusting smile that makes your blood run cold, and then you snap back to reality.
That sounds
need-
like the start of a
I
weird
have hiccups when I come back from the reality.
I need to do an intelligence saving throw.
Very weird thing.
Stop thinking about mushroom palaces. Our friends are dying.
She toadstool down there.
Intelligence?
Saving throw.
Someone's gonna have to kill my hiccups.
Oh my god.
Kill me.
Hiccup. Oh, sorry. Is that what you want?
Oh, 8 minus 2, 6.
You are incapacitated at the end of your
Oh,
great.
for God's sake.
Because of my mushroom dream?
Yes.
Okay.
Because this word seems to have triggered something in your past.
What was
It's
the word
activated a
again?
memory.
Okay.
Zuctamoy.
I'm
Zug.
Josh.
Zugtmoy.
Subtomoy.
Zuctamoy.
Safe word. Sucked.
Zugtamoy. That's what she was dreaming about.
You don't know that.
Did you just miss the last 2 minutes?
Was I
Yeah.
speaking in my dream?
I was
Yep.
fixing on a hiccup.
Okay.
Can
Oh,
I
yeah,
tell
I'll
if
say
the skeletal guy or queen is connected to anything above her?
It connected to everything in this room.
So
Like front,
is
back,
like
left, right, up, down.
yeah, but like is
Tendrils.
there a central point that's keeping her
No,
it
it
afloat?
looks like it's being supported by every direction equally. It doesn't like, it's not like one thick rope that's hanging it from the ceiling.
Is this the fungal queen or is this the servant?
I think it's a servant.
You can see the queen.
That's just a memory. That's not.
She can see
It's a bit like
Oh.
it's a bit like in Independence Day when that guy gets shoved up against the window.
So I know that
I haven't
Fawn
seen
Blade
Independence
works.
Day.
There are two
So good.
zomboys in the room.
Correct.
I would like to use my green flame blade
Mhm.
against the vines around the fungal queen.
Okay.
Zugdemoy.
Is Zuktamai here? Or
He's
he just said Zuktamai,
None of you have any frame of reference,
apart from my dream.
other than the creature has said the word Zugtamoy, and that's triggered something in your mind.
Okay.
I don't think,
Incapacitated.
there's not really a whole lot
Temporarily.
else I can
So
actually
did you
do.
just say that back to her, just in case?
Zugdemoy
You say Zugtamoy,
as I attack.
and it looks okay.
That's not the queen. That's Babe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's not the queen.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
He
We
works
don't
for the
8.
queen.
8. But I have 2 arm blades.
You do 8 hits.
Oh, cool.
Roll the other one.
So
Cool.
to Moy.
Ambidextrous.
13 plus 6, 19.
That hits. Both of them hit.
Cool.
So Shard, or could you do a
Flame blade?
1d4? Yeah, 1d4 plus 4,
Can do. 7.
and then do a d8 on top of that.
Ooh, me oh my.
Oh me, oh my.
5.
5. So that is
13.
13, and then another d4 flat.
Oh, 1.
1. So 14 points of damage.
Right.
As like one of the arm blades gets engulfed in this green flame. You just start cutting around it, and then. So we did 14 points of damage, correct? Was it 14?
Yes, it was 5 plus 8.
Why do I
Plus
know?
1?
You rolled
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it was
9.
14.
14 total,
Yeah.
yes. Cool. It starts like engulfing in flames, starts screaming in place, like its useless feet just twitching in the vines itself. It's still alive, but it's heavily damaged.
Am I still cuddling it?
Parter, you are. So the D8 that you did, D8 of damage that you did affects every creature in 5 feet. So
Oh.
Parter, you also take.
That's-
I believe you rolled an 8.
Oh,
4.
boy.
You did. Oh no,
On the D4,
5. You roll
D5, or
a,
the
you
D8.
roll a 4. Yeah. So you take 4 points of flame damage. Parter.
You can handle it.
Yeah, whose fault is that?
Be hugging her.
Shouldn't be hugging mushrooms.
Zugdemoy.
Hmm.
Zugdemoy. Zugdemoy.
Zogdemoy.
Who told me that mushrooms
You're
are
being
great?
pulled into this flaming corpse.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
being
nice.
sucked into it.
Yeah. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Puke on it.
Natural 20.
There you go.
You break out.
That's
like,
enough to
that's
snap
the
me up.
flame.
Just
And you do. You start pushing against the vines. You don't. You wake up as if from a horrific nightmare. You start pushing. Trying to push your way out. You're on fire.
Where
at the
am I?
time. Your hands
What am I
burning.
doing? What am I doing around here?
Pip, you're up.
I'm just floating some foam.
You're being attacked by this zombie that's like knocked you against the side of the head.
Can I just... Will it fall asleep? Can I try?
You can try.
I'll try.
Actually, I will give you insight. You did try to make one of them fall asleep back in the farmhouse, and it seemed to be immune.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. Okay, sorry. I'll just take my dagger then and
Okay.
just...
Stab it in the eye,
Yeah.
type of thing. Yeah, roll to hit.
That is a 19 plus
That hits.
something.
Stab.
Where's my dagger?
Stab, stab, stab.
Well, you're in a mushroom palace.
I'm awake now.
1d4 plus 5.
Cool.
I had the best dream.
Triangle. Triangle.
This one. I don't know my
The
shapes.
one that looks like a triangle.
3 plus 4.
3 plus 5.
Please, yep, that's one.
Nice.
That's the one. That's
Got
the
it.
one.
Aya, you'll go.
Am I awake now?
Yes, you are.
My mushroom dream?
Yeah, indeed. Oh,
And-
no, you're at the end of your next turn. So now you are, like, you suddenly come back to your senses. Your eyes flitter back to this room, which kind of resembles a little bit of the vision that you just had.
Okay.
The look, the feel of it, the horror that's going on around you. And you start seeing, like, Parter's semi-inflamed Pips being beaten by these, like, thick, veined zombie. Chad is trying to stab this like suspended corpse thing. Mike's nowhere to be seen.
Could I still use an action?
No, it's the end of your turn that you go back to
But what did
back to reality.
No, you can't.
you can do anything.
Enjoy.
So what did I learn from the dream though? Because I'll be honest, I was hiccuping.
Okay. Do you want me to repeat what you
Just the
I can recap, that's no
the
problem.
bit I missed was the if you don't
Yeah.
mind, I'm sorry, Tom.
In your mind, you are overwhelmed with the vision of a massive palace of 24 mushrooms, all interconnected with bridges and lined with countless chambers and tunnels. Fields of giant fungus line a cavern too vast to fully comprehend. The air is filled with millions of spores that attach and leach rotten flesh and plant matter. Your view zooms into one of the monstrous palaces, into a giant throne room covered with thick, rancid sheets of coils of fungus. In the middle of a thick, fibrous tentacle, covered in mouthing lip suckers that devour floating spores that come near it. Atop is a vaguely female form that appears almost alien and inhuman, as a skeletal, thin humanoid shape draped and veiled in mycelium and lichen. 4 fibrous antlers grow from her brow, and her hands bear cruel talons. Her lower torso is a coiling pillar of lashing ropey tentacles and other fungal growths. She gives you a disgusting smile that makes your blood run cold, and then you snap back to reality.
Gross. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
the surrounding looks familiar, but I can't see anything that looks like this monster
No.
on the woman.
No.
Okay, cool.
Correct.
Cool.
And then the zomboids.
Zomboys.
Don't bite.
The zomboids.
Zombie and Skillamon.
Snap back to
That was a monkey.
Oh, there goes Rabbit. He's
It's a different campaign, right?
Couldn't
so
fly
bad.
her.
Different campaign, but
But he broke.
still a monkey.
He's
It was a
got
monkey.
spaghetti.
I'm just trying to remember
Mum's
if I
spaghetti.
Mum's
missed something.
spaghetti.
That was
16 to
Vomit
hit.
on his face.
Is that who you hit?
What?
16
Oh,
hit.
those part.
Was I doing something? What?
I'm hitting you.
Oh,
Zombie's hitting you.
Sorry, I was distracted. My armor class is 16.
Yep, so hits. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's fine. 5 points. Actually, it's getting very close to not fine.
And then
You're almost out of double digits.
I'd say any damage is not good.
13 plus 3, 16. That does not hit you.
You're
No.
fine.
So you're fine.
What I'd give.
Fine.
That many.
Fine.
And then the creeperzoid.
Oh, creeperzoid.
Why doesn't everybody do another wisdom saving throw? Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Because, it leads to bad things. 17.
17, you pass.
Gosh, did something.
19.
Pass.
13.
Oh.
18.
Pass.
Boom.
13. Also pass.
Maybe I'll actually have one.
Well done, team.
Good going, guys.
You did it.
So that gets us onto a shard.
I'm gonna keep slicing and dicing.
Yep. Go for it.
One arm this way, one arm that way. Roll 2. Hit. Uh-oh. 9 again, right? Yep.
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 That hits.
Natural 1.
Does not hit.
Oh.
Are you doing green flame blade again?
Yeah.
So roll d4 plus 4 plus d8.
Okay. 1d4 plus 4. 5
5.
plus 5, 10.
So you take 5 points of fire damage.
But I'm not in it anymore.
No, you pushed out, but you didn't move all the way back. So you still get hit by the flame from the green flame blade.
I thought
I'm
you were
getting
out.
angry now.
I thought you were out.
Parter, now you're angry, it's your go.
Oh, now be angry.
Turn into a horse.
Now do an angry. Be a horse. Be the horse you always wanted to be.
What to do? So you got flame blades out.
Flam blades?
Flam blades.
Flamblay.
I'm gonna get my own flam blade out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast flame blade.
Oh,
It's super effective.
Because I keep
it's
on
plants.
because I keep on getting burnt
Yes.
inadvertently by
Shard.
being part of
Shards.
Being
Spell.
Parter.
being part of being part of.
Being part of this mess.
But I'm not clicking necessarily because I'm a little bit delirious from being absorbed into walls and people.
Sure.
I don't realise it's him that's hurting me.
okay.
And I'm going to turn around on person in the middle.
Okay.
Get my flame blade.
Yeah, I believe that's a spell. Go over it, Parter. Flambe.
15.
Away.
15 plus 7.
15 plus 7 hits.
Sweet.
Do your damage.
3d6. 8. Oh, that was 3. Okay. 8. 11.
11. So this entire room lights up with the flame blade spell. Within 10 foot, and then 10 foot radius of dim light after that. It almost it puts stars in everybody's eyes as you cut from bottom left to top right a complete sever of this creature, separating him from all of the vines. All of his innards start pouring out of this internal skeletal structure. As it falls down,
this.
That's just you.
it starts hissing out of all of its the orifices on its head as
All
it
of it.
cooks it. Yeah, like the ear holes, the nostrils, the eyes.
Listen.
Name them
As
all.
it pours out all of the steam from its rib cage as well as you cook it from the inside out, and it just goes squidges and pulls apart,
Hilarious.
and then it just hangs there motionless as it just vomits up his own guts
Oh, it's like
on the
you.
floor
I thought oh my god.
into
Flame blade disappears.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Again.
the zombies drop dead next to you.
You haven't eaten enough to puke this much.
What is your constitution modifier?
Is that the
Top left.
yeah, I know. As in like the number in the circle.
Yeah, the little number.
14.
So 2.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know which one.
The little number, not as in small, but
I think I meant the
Sorry.
little number.
As
The
in-
little number.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the
Plus
number
2.
that is fewer. Okay. We roll a perception check.
But he knows that she's outside, right? Because he whispered it to her.
Huh?
To who?
You said that to me. I have your friend. Your friend
Oh,
is
yes.
incapacitated.
Yes, true.
So am I still rolling? Perception?
No.
Oh. No.
Rest you can, though.
16.
16.
9.
am I
9.
doing it?
Yes. Disadvantage because you're throwing
What?
up.
It's just
what was it?
voluntary.
Yeah,
What-
Luke's lost his.
Perception.
But I will give you inspiration for throwing up on a victory.
17.
17.
Yes.
Even through, like, probably through your own legs, as you're throwing up, you can see the tunnel behind you. And you see Mike fall out of the corridor as the vines die around her. But she just drops to her knees and then onto her face.
Oh no.
I need to do 2 death saving throws for me.
Oh.
As you've
Ooh.
been, your constitution modifier determines how long you can withstand without
My
suffocating.
heart just went.
Have I killed her?
So I need to do 2 death saving throws.
2.
How much
I've
did
still
you
got
have
healing.
left? You had 1 left?
I've got one left.
1 hit point.
Yeah,
But she was being
but she was-
suffocated.
yeah.
So for the first, because she's got a constitution modifier of +2,
Yep.
she can survive 1 round, 2 rounds without doing any death saving throws. This is round 4
Yep.
of the fight. So she needs to do 2 death saving throws.
Also, Strength of the Grave. Can I do that at any point?
I will let you do it
If you don't.
after these 2 throws.
Am I just rolling?
That's how confident he is that you're going to die.
Actually, do Strength of the Grave now, actually.
So, when damage that isn't radiant is radiant,
Yeah, this would suffocate you to death.
I'm not ready for this yet.
then I can't use it.
No, it's not radiant,
Oh.
so it's fine. It's just suffocation.
It's fine.
It's fine, just suffocate you.
When damage that isn't radiant or from a critical hit reduces you to 0, you can make a charisma saving throw DC 5 plus the damage taken.
Yep.
On a success, you instead drop to 1.
Do a DC 10 charisma saving throw.
Roll your d20.
Roll a d20
You can do it.
and add to your charisma
You
saving
can
throw.
do it. You can do it.
Roll it.
So you got +5, so you just need a 5 or above.
10.
You're good. So you only need to do 1 death saving throw. So you need a 10 or higher.
You
If you
can
get a
do
20, you pop back up. You're on 1 hit point. If you roll a 1, you fail 2 death saving throws. You have 1 left. Anything else is just either you pass or you fail.
So I want above.
You want a 10 or higher.
Please roll it.
You can
Stay
do it.
above
Just roll it.
10.
Please.
I'm not ready for this. Don't die. Don't leave us, Mike.
A 17.
Yay!
18, so you're okay. You're just unconscious on the floor. Everybody sees you, apart from part who got. No, you saw.
No, I
you
was
got
looking through my
9.
legs.
I
No,
got a 9.
You got 9.
Yeah,
I knew there was a 9 around there somewhere. So you 3 see
I have healing.
Mike collapse out of these vines on the floor. You can still kind of see that she's breathing, but she's obviously unconscious on 0 hit points and she's dying.
I'm running to her.
Okay.
I'm running to her. I've got my cure wound, so I'm gonna,
Roll.
just gonna
I
dive on
believe,
her.
I believe it's 1d8.
1d8 is. Three plus 5. No, yeah, 3 plus 5.
You're
8.
on 8 hit points. Mike, you're
yes.
back up on 8 hit points. As
You are
Parter
welcome.
scoops you up and casts healing word onto you. Oh,
He's
sorry,
covered in vomit.
Kill wounds.
And so now you're
I'll take
covered in
that.
vomit.
How many am I?
8.
8.
You're on 8 hit points.
I'm on 8 hit points.
Yes.
So he gave me 7.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you 3, whilst Parter has gone over to help Mike out, you 2 kind of start to go over and realise that
He's got
Parter has got this. So you 3,
Can I see anything in the room?
I was about to say, beyond where he's now been sliced in 2, there is another opening that presumably leads further into the house, but it descends into the depths, the bowels of the house.
To go down there?
think-
I think we should.
You can
but
see all the vines dying
I think we need a
around
bit of a-
everything.
bit
They're
of
all
a
turning
rest.
black and shriveling up.
I think we should, but I want to make sure, like, the vines keep moving and doing stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I want to rip this thing out of where it was, so
Yeah.
it's not connected to any vines.
You jump up and you grab like part of its arm where it's been like suspended up, and you just pull the corpse, the top half of the corpse down,
So, like,
and it
reverse
becomes
dunk
brittle.
it. Reverse dunk it.
Yeah, you just dunk it
I
onto the
take it
floor.
out of the basket.
Yeah, yeah, you take it out of the bar.
Yeah,
You know, like a basketball.
like
game.
a basketball.
Yeah,
That's a
the
start.
anti
Like a bulb in a
dunk.
bush.
Like a bulb in a
Bulb in a
bush.
bush.
and rip it out.
You do the anti dunk. It's a 6-point anti dunk.
Yep.
Yep, onto the floor,
Okay.
and it just almost
I don't
turns
want
to
it to be
ash in your hand,
connected to. Okay, all right,
That's fair.
cool.
and the skeleton itself just breaks apart, like all of the vines turning to black coal, carbon substance, and it scatters across the floor. All the vines start dying, and it starts seeping out away from this room and dying throughout the house. So we'll do 3, 2, 1, then we're back in. Oh.
She's ruined it already. Come on, Ellie. We just talked about this.
Don't tell her. Let's see how long you
Until
can
you
last
notice
for.
it, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna drink it out of it until she notices." And as soon as you sit back down, she's like,
She's throwing the eggs right in my
I
face.
couldn't do it.
"Oh my god,
That was
Egg
your
slut.
plan.
weak."
This is in the
Egg
cupboard.
slut,
In
really?
the cupboard at work.
Stop eggs slut shaming me.
Egg slut. Sorry.
That's all good.
Never tell Eddie a secret.
No,
Please tell me a secret.
Nope.
I'll get a boner.
nope.
So yes, these vines spread throughout the house. You can see that they are progressively dying further away from this central chamber that we're going. It does reveal the corridor which you first entered, where Mike's just dropped down and you're now cradling her. It also is carving out this like basement staircase that's going down into the depths and the bowels of this house. What would you like to do?
Something about this place seems really familiar to me. I reiterate the dream.
We all look weirded out.
Yeah, I explicitly say the detail about the tentacles and all the mushrooms.
How many mushrooms?
At least a
Dozens.
trillion.
I think it's related to a great evil,
Cool.
and we should be.
This is not a good place.
Thanks for telling us.
This is a really dark place.
We couldn't have waited till we were outside.
So that means we should go and investigate this.
So there's nothing left hanging from the ceilings at this point.
No, you ripped it down and dunked it.
Well, yeah, there's nothing else like lingering, like any little
No, whatever
shattering skeletons.
whatever tentacles that were have just sloughed to the side and just carbonized.
I think we need a
Do
little
we wanna-
rest. I think we need to
I'm not sleeping in this house.
You don't want to follow the vines as they're
They're
downstairs.
leaving.
What a lovely ash pile for me to lay down in.
Yes,
and have a
exactly.
nice sleep.
I don't
Perfect
think
nap spot.
we can either leave this place like it is or sleep
And
here.
just leave
Can we go home?
We should go and investigate the
Why do you
basement.
want to go
further in.
Could someone give me some hit points before we go into a dark
Sure.
dangerous...
If I could.
Oh,
I
what,
would.
because you haven't got your
Well,
42 that you
Because
can...
I'm on
What do I
12.
remember?
I'm on 15.
You remember being suffocated by vines. You just got pulled in. You got stabbed in the back, paralysed, and then they just pulled you into the wall like they tried to do with Parter, and suffocated you to death.
Pip, you can have
Temporarily.
5 of my lay on hands. But I can only give you them by laying my hands on you.
5 times.
You can lay them on my clothes, right?
Yes, you can.
I do that.
How many do I get?
5.
5.
5.
Thank you.
Okay.
So we all good on our hit points?
I might
So who's
do
taking up,
cure wounds myself.
Okay, 1d8 plus 3.
I'm still on 8.
Oh.
I'm still very low.
Correct.
Thanks.
Well,
You can't do
me as the
anything
DM,
about
I
it.
can't do
8.
much for you at the moment. You have to look to your party members.
I'll give
for-
you another 2 to bring you up to 10.
So
Thank you,
you
thank
want
you.
to get 8? That's
Thank you,
cool.
thank you.
What's the marching order down this cellar?
I'll go first. 'Cause I'm
I'll
like,
go last
One.
this time.
Thanks, I'm not going
5. 1 5.
4.
1 5 4.
2.
1 5 4 2 3. Okay, cool. 1 5 4 3 2. Yeah,
Great.
got it. Of course. So easy for me to remember.
I'm so sorry.
So 1. Yeah, you go down this staircase, which is quite difficult to navigate because once where there were slippery vines that were trying to trip you up, they have now turned to ash, which in itself is quite unstable on your footing. You're kind of like it's like powdered snow.
I'm not very dexterous.
No, so you're just having to like pretty much just like slam your feet into the once was a stone staircase. As you go down, there's no light down here, so hands up who's got dark vision, or hands up who wants to replace that with a torch.
Can I make my warhammer light?
Yes, you can. You can cast light on your warhammer.
Hold it up.
So everyone's dark vision's ruined. This giant warhammer is being lit. It's like the blinding sun.
You're
But
welcome.
it does,
It's not awful.
yeah. But it does illuminate down to the cellar.
Okay.
And at the bottom of the cellar, there is a brief 5 to 10 foot corridor, and then there is a bolted door. It's a wooden door that's iron banded. And it looks like the tentacles, you can see like the remnants of tentacles, came up to this banded door and then curled around it, but it doesn't look like it's penetrated into this room.
Are those vines dying as well?
They've all died, yeah.
They've all died.
Basically,
Okay, so it's not
all
like
I've seen
they're
now
just-
are like
Since we killed that person.
carbon
That's
scorch marks on the wall. That's where you can see the evidence of where the vines were. So you can see these carbon scorch marks down the walls of the corridor, and they just curve over the door and then back round again, like crisscrossing over each other. And now it's just a big pile of ash at the bottom.
Are there any rocks on the ground?
Yeah.
Can I throw 2 at the door?
Yes.
Thank you.
Roll it to hit. Just don't roll 1.
Roll.
Can I do Ash Angels?
Do 2.
12. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
12 and 8.
12 and 8. Bam, bam. And they just bounce off. Bam, bam. Off the door.
So it's like a knock.
Yeah.
Knock knock.
Yeah. Bam, bam.
I'm gonna go and knock on the door again.
Well, I just knocked. So.
Yeah, but
You have to
do it with your hand.
Tung, tung. And then you
I don't know
tap,
much,
tap,
but I
tap.
know that.
Meanwhile, you're on the floor. Ash angeling.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kicking up a lot of, like, carbonized plant matter. It's kind of like covering you a little bit.
So gross.
Can I just do it like that, but with one?
Yeah, yeah. So it's 1/2 angel. Well, I suppose 2/3. No, 3/4 angel, because you've got your legs kicking out. It's just one winged angel.
I'm having fun.
I'm having fun. Smiling as you hold your nose. What are you two doing?
Chilling.
Freaking out.
Freaking out.
Looking over his shoulder.
Chilling, freaking out. Just sure. Just the other sides of the scales.
Just rocking backwards and forwards.
Mm-hmm. Groovy.
After what happened to Mike, I'm just checking behind me all the time.
Constantly looking up to see if
Yeah.
anything. You're a little bit paranoid every time you hear like a chunk of carbonized vine hit the floor. It just makes like this thunk sound, almost like something's marching towards you. Every time you check out, it's just another bit of carbonized vine hitting the ground, hitting the stonework. As you knock on the door, there is no response.
Okay, I'm gonna try and open it.
It's locked.
I'm gonna try shoulder on it.
Roll an athletics check. No, actually. Yes. Oh, athletics check.
12.
Anybody got a lockpick?
Plus 4, 16.
16
Oh.
is just enough
I've got a plus
to shoulder barge the door. The first one doesn't work. You come back for a second one. You slam it into it, and you hear the distressed metal behind it, and then a satisfying ping as whatever banded metal on the opposite side was locking it, and the door swings open and slamming against the side. You stumble in afterwards into this kind of storeroom / laboratory type setup in the back here. Laboratoire. Garnier. In here, they have multiple cages stacked upon one another. Peeling labels denote odd words. So there is like a word in quotes on the top, and then a longer word beneath it. And they're all peeling on these cages. The majority of the cages themselves are open. And they're stacked in a grid of like probably about 15, 20 of them on this back wall. There is a table that's in front of it, which is right next to you at the moment. And it's got like a mat on it, some implements which have rusted over, some vials. It looks like a sort of alchemy set type setup. Not that you would know what that was,
Yeah.
but just sort of a visual for you.
I'm going to ask the one that knows all of his herbs and shit.
Not alchemy, though.
No, but I don't know
Oh.
that. Parter,
Yeah.
there seems to be some stuff in here that I don't understand. Maybe with all of your cowardly wisdom, you might.
Oh, I'll have a go, but I'm not sure it's my expertise. I'll have a little look around to investigate.
What are you going to investigate in particular?
What do you want me to investigate in particular?
What are they doing here? They've obviously been messing about with some fungus.
Cages.
You want to look at the cages?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little.
What specifically do you want to look at?
Well, I can't read the writing. I'm assuming it's the writing that's on the stuff out the front. So I'm gonna have a little.
It
look
is
at
not.
indication. Oh, she is.
This looks to be in common.
Oh, I can speak common. I'm gonna have a little look at obviously that, but also see if there's any indication of what was in the cage.
So the first one you look at is not your traditional metal cage. It looks to be made of an inert wood, lacquered, and the long word on it is Lato Hard Gelatinosis.
I got that.
How do you spell this?
Lato.
Yeah.
Hord is Haud. Gelatinosis is Gelat.
Sorry, G.
ELAT.
Yeah.
INOSIS. Lato Hord Gelatinosis.
What's
And the
that?
quote-
Called Gladnactus.
What's it written on?
It's written on like parchment.
Okay.
A little label on the cage. The cage door is open, and there is a little quotation mark above it, and in quotation is Stinger.
Okay. What you think this one stung?
You got stingered.
What were they doing here?
Stinging.
I don't know what they're doing here. All I know is that they tried to absorb me into. Chad, would you stop ringing me?
I worry about you.
Can you?
It's
use
gotta
any
be
of
Just
this?
shouldered in. You're looking at stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, now that
Um,
he's not doing anything, I'm going to shout him in because you know he's a wizard, even though
Okay.
he doesn't
Chad,
look like
You've
one.
been shouted in. You're up.
You have apparently supposed to have wizard smarts. Please
Apparently.
use them.
Clearly I do.
There's a bunch of like what looks to be at first glance some empty cages, and then next to Aya, where she's calling you in, there is a table and looks like an elaborate alchemy set. So Akaran had something similar, like on a slightly smaller scale, but he had that in his room. His was dusty and inert and hadn't been used for a while. This also looks in a similar situation. Something that he used to use when he used to experiment with alchemy. It never went particularly far on his part.
Do I recognize any ingredients or any sort of...
Roll an investigation check.
Yep.
Yup. Yes, sir.
19.
You do find like a whole rack of like various arcane ingredients. you think you can harvest enough to bolster your supplies so that you don't have to use your wand temporarily.
Yeah,
You can now start casting the rest of your spells by augmenting you with these vials of magical ingredients.
Do I know what these ingredients are, or can I just write down magical ingredients
For
equals wand?
intents and purposes of the Pip and Muic, you're both out of the room at the moment. What would you like to do?
Can I look into any of the cages and see if there's anything in there that I can use for my poisonous cage?
Yeah, so the ones that, like the party's not looking into. What would you like to do, Mike?
I heard clinking and I want to go look for stuff because someone's stealing stuff.
Mhm.
I want to join in.
Cool.
Sounds like fun. So I want to look for parchments.
So the only parchments, there's no like leaves of words or anything like that on the bench itself, but each one of the cages do have something written on them. So as you look through, you're looking at the cages that he hasn't looked at. So the other two, you two are sort of looking at the bench. For you two, you both find together 2 sealed cages in the bottom right-hand corner of this block of 20. The first one says, in quotes, Bando.
Bando?
And the long name underneath it is Volantum Simia. So it's VOLANTEM. And Simia is SIMIA.
Yep.
And the one that you've
Cages.
Yes,
Sorry,
so
that's
the-
just one.
of the 20, all the other ones are open. These 2 are still closed.
Yep.
The other one next to it is in quotes Phantom. And the long one underneath it is Canis.
Yep.
Enol Enolem. Enolelam. So CANIS. Next word is INOMINALEN.
Can I put the one that says phantom?
Well, as you're looking
Spell it.
at that, something in the left cage, which is
Canis what?
Canis Enoleum, INOM IALEM.
I think
So the
that's
one labelled Bando, as you're looking into it, this creature like jumps out at you and grabs the bars with little hands
What's it
and starts shaking it.
look like?
It's got a little like simian face, but it's got wings on its back. And as you're rattling the cage, the one that's next to you, the one that's named Phantom, you just hear a f- and then next to you a f- and then this little shadow wreathed puppy appears next to you and starts growling.
So wait, can I try and open the cage? Wait, no. Am I scared? Or is it cute? Is it really
It's
cute?
just like up to his little face is up to the bar.
Can I tickle its nose?
Roll a animal handling check.
What's going on?
Oh. 8.
8. So as you put your finger in, it kind of shies away, lets go of the cage, and like crawls up to the back and kind of protects itself a little bit.
Can I open the cage?
Yeah, you can open the cage door now.
And just put my hand up?
Have you got anything in your hand?
No.
Roll a persuasion check then.
How small is the simian?
16 plus...
About yay big?
How big is Pip?
No, 16 plus 1.
About twice the size.
Just making sure.
Yeah. How big? Sorry, how much?
17.
17. It cautiously like crawls forward and grabs the first 2 fingers, but it needs to do a
Does it fall asleep?
Constitution save.
I just want something to love me. Without falling
It's okay,
asleep.
it passed.
Okay, good.
And it just holds onto your hand and starts like nibbling the end of your finger.
I love it.
Yeah.
So intensely.
And so you got this little black puppy like growling at you, but it's wreathed in this smoke.
Yeah.
It's like pouring off of it, and it's just hunkered down, like wiggling its butt and looking at you.
Is it completely smoky?
No, it's like half smoke. So the front part of it is like completely corporeal, but the
Yeah.
back half of it kind of just dissolved. It's still got like the outline of a dog,
Yeah.
but it's smoky.
How big is it?
It's puppy size, it's not that big.
Puppy size.
Yeah.
Can I? Just thinking. Is the phantom and the bando bit? Is that the common language that we can understand?
It looks like more of a, rather than translation, it looks more of like a name or a nickname.
Okay. So the words that are in common, what do they mean?
It looks like maybe between all of you discussing it, you think that, especially your knowledge of nature, Parter, and the way you got the long Latin names of like certain species. It looks like it's the species name, and then they've named it.
Okay, cool. I wanna crouch down, open the cage, and.
Oh no! It popped out the cage.
Oh,
it teleported. It's outside the cage.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, cool. But even though it does do that, I've got my cloak, and I want to do that so it can. I'm hoping I'll be like, get in the cloak.
Okay, do an animal handling check.
Oh, and I can speak to animals.
I do.
Huh?
I do.
You can beat animals.
10.
Keep forgetting.
10.
Yeah.
It's enough. It slowly paws its way over to you. As it gets closer to you, the back part of it, the smoke, it looks like there's a fan has been placed behind it. All the smoke starts pouring towards you and coalescing around your legs and your staff and wrapping around it. And it scampers up quicker towards you. When it gets next to you, you start, like parts of your clothing, your personage, start turning to smoke as well. And it's this exchange of shadow and smoke as it starts wrapping around you.
That's so cool.
This little creature then jumps up onto you and clambers onto your back.
I'm just
It's quite heavy
at this point.
but it's got its arms around you like a monkey hangs on to its mother. It's just on your back now. And
I'm
it's-
trying not to
yeah.
cry with how much I love it.
And it starts picking at your like leather armor and eating like, particles of like the carbonized vines and like also picking bits of mud off you as well. And stuff
Now
like
that it's my best friend, can I stroke that?
Yeah. that. It nuzzles into you.
I was your best friend.
You've been replaced.
So if you both would like to check D&D Beyond, if you click on extras, you'll have Beast
There
Companion.
he is.
He's a small monstrosity. I love him.
Yeah.
Puppy of ill.
And
I
a
need
puppy
to
of Ill
give-
Omen.
Him a name.
He's called Well, it seems to be labelled Bando, but you can call him whatever you want. Really.
Will he? Can I try and respond? Like, see if he responds to Bando.
Yeah.
Bando.
And he does.
He does. Okay.
Yeah, he sort
That's his name.
of crawls around
That's so
your
cute.
face.
That's a
I
mean,
tickle him.
Yeah.
mean boy.
He's a small monstrosity. He's a puppy of Omen.
Cool.
They got pets?
Yep.
Oh,
Got a friend.
I want a pet.
And that's this room cleared. That's this house cleared, and that's the end of this episode.
We did a thing.
We've
Good
got
thing we explored the
friends.
house. It's a good thing they
I want a pet.
finally paid attention.
Yeah.
How did you guys figure that out before we did?
It was
It was
a cage
painfully
labeled
obvious.
monkey.
It didn't. Why did it say monkey?
Simeon.
Oh, I didn't get that.
And then it... Yeah.
So, I'd like to thank my
Glad you got
players
that.
Ellie, Josh, Annie, Cleo, and Alice. If you'd like to plug your social media, now's an amazing time to do so.
At Ellie Baz.
At MCM Josh.
At Annie_squirrel.
Okay, so this is actually a fan submission that I got sent to me. It is at Lizzie Wizzy, Let's Get Busy, which is great. If you have suggestions for me, send them and I will use them. The fan that sent that one was at MCM_Tim. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Send me your suggestions.
Where can they send them to you?
The internet.
At the internet.
At the
I
internet.
hate going after you.
You made your choice.
I hate you see white.
I didn't get that.
At MCM_Tim.
Hey! Oh.
So thanks for joining us, and see you next time. Remember, if you know what to do, scroll over and die.
Shout out to @MCM_Tim.
Shout out to my new son. And my small monster.